Hey guys, welcome back to Menace Rods 2023. It's been an awesome Christmas. I hope you guys had a great time. But now it's time to get cracking on this Mercedes-Benz C250 CDI AMG that we got last year. Sorry about the wind. Obviously, there's an engine problem. We've got an engine light. We tried to delete the codes. We took it for a ride. We've got a DPF fault that keeps reoccurring. So obviously too much soot build up in the DPF. That's your diesel particulate filter. We're going to try to do a forced regeneration on this vehicle. But before we get this car on the road, we're going to have to do a wash on it because it can't be driving it like this. Guys, I've also, Carla and I bought, and we've got a whole box of tricks there. We've got a paint correction kit, so stay tuned for that. But for now, let me show you what this vehicle is doing, and we'll get into the video. Alright guys, this is the C250. And put the clutch in. Okay, so we start the vehicle and we've got an engine light. We did read it in the previous video and it is showing a DPF issue. We're assuming it's clogged. It's only 72,000 miles. It needs to be reset, cleaned up. Failing the forced regeneration that we're going to try to do with our TOPDON Diagnostic tool, we will have to then remove the DPF and have it professionally cleaned by ourselves. Let me show you what it's doing in limp mode. We can't get higher. The car is restricted to 3,000 revs. It won't go more. So obviously it's a safe mode. So I hope you like this video. We're going to try sort this car out, get it moving the way it should. We're going to just do a quick wash, get it on the road and do a regen. Guys, there's something so satisfying about getting your car all foamed up. It's like you don't even want to paint it, and just stay that way. Right guys, that's the first wash on the AMG done. It's looking a lot better. I mean, what a wash does to a car is so impressive. A little bit of work makes a big difference. It also allows us to see what we're dealing with in terms of the paint work now. We've got a better idea of the damages. These are all pretty nasty scratches done with hate or love. Who knows? Anyway, we can now see the paint better. We can decide on the process going forward, which we have already. It's about 4,000 pounds to respray this vehicle because there's not a lot of body work to be done. But with a vehicle this value, it's only going to retail for about 7,000 to 9,000 pounds. It's not worth it to spend their money. So in true Menace style, in the next episode, Carla and I are going to try do paint correction ourselves for under 100 pounds. So stay tuned for that one. Right now, Carla's going to get a TOPDON hooked up. We're going to see if we can do a auto regeneration or forced regeneration on the DPF. Try clean out all that soot. If that works, first prize. We're going to get hooked up. We'll see you back in the vehicle. Alright guys, we're inside the Mercedes. We're going to attempt to do a DPF regeneration. That's basically to clean all the soot out. In a previous video we scanned the vehicle. We were getting fault error codes showing that the DPF or the soot content was too high. So we've connected our TOPDON and it looks like we've got the option to do a forced regeneration. So we're going to go under maintenance. We select DPF. And let's go Mercedes. I wish it was a Maserati, but it's a Mercedes. Switch on ignition. Ignition is on. Okay. Okay. Our full level of the diesel particulate filter is showing us at 400%. So definitely a problem there. We want to try to get it as close to 0 as possible. We are hopefully getting into it. So we've got all our parameters correct. We are in neutral. Ignition is on. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, so we've realized, or we read it wrong. We thought the engine has to be cold, but one of the parameters looks like giving us a fault is that the oil temperature sensor is picking up a temperature less than 35 degrees Celsius. So we're bringing the car up to temp and hopefully getting this regeneration sorted.
2,000 years later.
So we've got the oil temperature up, we pressed OK, and it looks like we're going into a new menu, which is what I'm hoping for, so we can actually get this regeneration started. They will me.
Oh. Switch off completely. Pull out key.
Guys, we don't know what's happening. Okay, I got my
Put
key
it back in.
Keys back in.
Clutch in.
Yeah.
Neutral.
Now I've got nothing happening, no lights.
Uh-oh.
Shouldn't have switched off.
Do you want me to end the session?
Nah, everything's off.
Switch off the key. In session, in session, in session, in session, in session. OMG.
I've got no lights.
Okay, it's busy with the computer. Just let it sit. I mean, dead is dead if it's dead. Leave it in the ignition on position.
It is.
Right, let's go walk away from the situation right now.
But we're going to give it 5 minutes and see if this thing wakes up. I've lost all dash lights. I've lost everything. TOPDON, this thing better work.
I'm coming back for you
Send me
otherwise.
an email on Monday. Oh, I'm going to walk away from the situation. Oh, it shows me that the door's... Maybe something. There's lights. Start engine, okay. Okay. Oh my God. I'm not getting the engine starting light. Let's just leave it. As long as it doesn't lock the doors.
Leave the door open.
Alright, we're going to take a 5-minute break and come back and hope our problems are gone. Right guys, back to the car that doesn't want to start, doesn't want to have lights. Carla reminded me that when you're running the OBD and the scanner and doing all these things, you need to make sure you've got a minimum of 12 volts. Almost, but I've put a jumper pack on and I really thought something happened with the ECU while it was trying to reset this thing. But with the jumper pack on, we've got go. So let's jump back in the car, Carla, and hopefully get this DPF story started. Alright, our jumper pack is connected still. So once we start this engine, we've got to make sure we're in neutral. I'm taking eco mode off. Apparently it works better that way. The control unit reset is being performed. Please wait. There we go. The maximum vehicle speed may not exceed 50 kilometers an hour. During the drive, engine speed is below 2000, under 1 minute, and above 4000, not more than a minute. Okay, we're just reading everything, making sure we do this right. Doesn't want to start. No gas. Every time I get to this point, the engine doesn't start. This reset is avoiding a start. Alright guys, after a couple of trials and errors, we realized when it says start the engine, we couldn't get any starts. So we've done the process now 5 times off camera, and basically when it gets to asking you to start the engine, we switch the ignition all the way off, remove the key, put it back in, and then the engine would start. So it looks like we are in the process. So And we're going to do a little bit of a drive around and see where we're at. Carla's going to jump out, grab that jumper pack off there. We're going to go for a quick drive around and then we'll come back with the results, and hopefully we've got a car that's sorted.
Okay guys, off for a 20-minute ride. Mario wants me to test this AMG while we do the diesel particulate filter regen. So let's get this going. He's following behind me in case there's any issues. Hopefully nothing. Let's follow these parameters as best as possible. Okay, it's already started initializing the regeneration of diesel particulate filter. So it's now started it now that we're driving. Give you an update as we go along. Okay, just to update, I am limited to 50 kilometers an hour, so I'm literally building up a trail of traffic on this lovely afternoon of sun in the UK. Because the speed limit on the road I'm driving is actually 60 miles, and I'm keeping everyone back at about 35 miles. So I'll probably have a bunch of very grumpy people once they get past me. Well, let's see. Let's go from here. So, very slow drive, causing traffic. It's already we're 5 minutes in and it's already dropping the percentage value down to 157 so far. So if we carry on at this rate, it shouldn't take too long. Okay, quick check-in, and it's 15 minutes in and we're down to 45% on the diesel particulate filter, so that's all right. Let's see where we get now. Okay, we are down to 4% and it's literally 20 minutes in, so 3%, sorry. Just a little bit more driving and we'll be done. Awesome. Not even a minute later and we are done. Let's get back to that workshop.
Alright guys, looks like we've done a successful DPF diesel particulate filter regeneration, and this is where we're at. So we drove around for about 20-25 minutes, maintaining our speed not higher than 50 kilometers an hour, 30 miles an hour basically, for 25 minutes. And during the process we were recording, and we could see that the fill level was dropping and got all the way down to 0. So I think it's job done. It's now asking us to switch off the ignition. So let's say okay, and let's just try to see what our parameters are reading. Fill level 0. There we go. So hopefully our engine management light should stay off when we restart the engine now. So I'm going to exit the screen. Carla's going to try to restart the engine and see if our engine light goes off and stays off. We should be in the clear and we should have a proper drive. There we go, engine lights is off guys, job done. Just remember, you saw it on Menace Rides, we did it ourselves, it's the first time we've done it. So guys, you can do it yourself. If you have a scan tool that says DPF regeneration, you can definitely get it done. A little bit of fiddling about, it's our first time, but it just goes straight. If you're willing to try, you can get it done. It's another episode sorted on Menace Rides. So obviously with the DPF cleaned out and that, we're going to take this car for a proper ride. Remember, we were restricted from the day we bought this vehicle. It wouldn't go over 3,000 revs. It was limited on speed, limited on performance. Remember our previous video, I said it felt like there's something to be unleashed, and hopefully we've unleashed that something and this car is running normal. But we don't want normal, we want a Menace Ride, so we're going to get this car tuned. So stay tuned for another episode of Menace Rides. Wait, no, just hang in there. We're going to have lunch, and when we get back, we're going to ride this car properly and see what we think about it. Alright YouTubers, we are back in the Mercedes after a great lunch. This is going to be my first test drive after the DPF clean out, and hopefully we've unleashed some of that hidden power, because like I said, since we bought this car at a salvage auction, we've always been stuck in a limp mode, and we hope we've resolved that issue. So car's warmed up, we're sitting at about 55 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's just get onto a main road. This is in a complex, just trying to, you know, hardly driven the vehicle, make sure I'm comfortable with everything here. Again, it's got a nice steering wheel, it's got a nice smooth ride. So far so good. I'm sitting on about 1,500 RPM, just prodding out of here. Okay, we're going to be getting to a main road now, and hopefully this thing goes over 3,000 RPM and puts me a little bit back into my seat. Again, I think this is going to be an awesome driver, awesome vehicle as an everyday drive. Turbo diesel C250. Let's see what we've got. Okay, it's not going to be a long drive, it's just going to be a tester. Still got a lot to do to this car. We want to increase the performance from whatever we got now. And wow, I'm only taking it up to 2,000 revs and I can already feel the throttle response and everything's a lot better than what it was in limp mode. Alright, I think I've got a bit of a gap here. Safety first, make sure we're clear, and let's go. Woo! I'm sure you guys saw that. You guys went flying because this car is moving. Picks up so nice now, look at that. I'm gonna put you guys back up there. Hopefully you stay there this time. I need to gas it a bit. It's definitely got a lot more go. And there we go. Initial thoughts on a proper drive out. This is a nice car. It's got a lot of go. For 204 brake horsepower, I don't think that's bad. I would drive this car every day. It's got all the creature comforts. So like, share, subscribe. We're going to be correcting this paint. We've got all the products ready to go, and let us know in the comments what you think of the process and whether you're willing to get it done yourself. The next process is going to be to do a map on this vehicle. We've seen that normal maps, and they can bring this up to, it's currently at 204 brake horsepower. We want to try and get it up with a standard remap to about 250, 260, which I think will do this car justice, being that it's an AMG. So if you know anybody in West Sussex that does remapping on CDI vehicles, turbo diesel vehicles that you or that you would recommend, please put it in the comments below. Let us know, we'll check it out. This is going to be an awesome series. This is part one of the fixing of the Mercedes. Like, share, subscribe.